It might be said that civilization can only have its epic poet in advance. Just as one can only foresee one's own death and describe it as something lying in the future, not report it as it happens. So it might be said, if you want to see the epic of a whole culture written, you will have to seek it in the works of its greatest figures, and hence seek it at a time when the end of this culture can only be foreseen, for later there is no one there anymore to describe it. So, it is not to be wondered at that it should be written in the dark language of provision intelligible only to the very few. But I do not get to these problems at all. When I have done with the world, I have created an amorphous, transparent mass, and then the world in all its variety is left on one side like an uninteresting lumber room. Or perhaps more precisely, the whole outcome of the entire work is for the world to be set on one side, a throwing into the lumber room of the whole world. In this world, mine, there is no tragedy, and with that, all the endlessness that gives rise to tragedy as its result is lacking. It is as though everything were soluble in the ether, and there are no harnesses. This means that hardness and conflict do not become something splendid, but a defect. Conflict is dissipated in much the same way as is the tension of a spring in a mechanism that you melt or dissolve in nitric acid. In this solution, tensions no longer exist. If I say that my book is meant for only a small circle of people, if that can be called a circle, I do not mean to say that this circle is in my view the elite of mankind, but it is the circle to which I turn, not because they are better or worse than the others, but because they form my cultural circle, as it were my fellow countrymen in contrast to the others who are foreign to me.